Dr. Tony D. Collins is here to encourage, motivate, inspire, guide you into excellence. Your success matters. Your dreams matter. Sign up right now with Shepherd One Coaching and become a better you.
Well, good morning, everyone. On this fantastic Friday morning, we've come to the end of another week, and we're so grateful to God for bringing us through this week. It's already been a great week, but we're going to have even a great day on today. Are you ready for this morning's Morning Mocha session? Let me say good morning to each and every one of you. As you all can see, I've been sharing with you that we're changing our format and how we're going to be doing things moving forward. There's not going to be any drastic changes, but as you can see, I won't be playing the music that I've been playing in the past, giving people more time to get on. You'll just get that little promo 10 minutes prior to us coming on, giving you time to get prepared to engage and enjoy the session. Also, while you're waiting, I want to encourage you to send the link to your friends, your family members, your neighbors. Now, this is the link I want you to send. Send the link to Dr. Tony D. Collins' YouTube page. Send that link and share it with your friends and family members. Again, I need you all to really understand. We're going to be moving everything over to my personal YouTube page. Next week will likely be the very last week that I'm going to be streaming from the Canaan platform, okay, with regards to Morning Mocha. Our Bible studies and our Sunday morning service will remain on the Canaan platform, but I want you all to move over to my Dr. Tony D. Collins YouTube channel. That's my coaching channel. Let me just lay that out there for you because I'm starting to ramp up my coaching business. I'm going to be doing most things from the perspective of my coaching. I'm still going to be sharing great wisdom with you. The wisdom that I share with you is going to yet be based on biblical principles because that's just who I am. I'll never deny who I am. I'm going to continuously be who I know God has called me to be. But again, I do have a desire to move things more in the direction of my coaching business as it pertains to me sharing on a platform like what I'm sharing on now. Okay, so I need you all right away. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and do it. Stop procrastinating because you're going to look up and we're not going to be on the Canaan channel, not for Morning Mocha. So you need to do that as soon as possible. As a matter of fact, those of you who have already subscribed to my personal YouTube channel, I want you to just make it a habit of going there starting today. You can even switch over there right now as we're speaking. If you're subscribed to both channels, you can go right now and move to the Dr. Tony D. Collins YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and same thing that's happening over here will be happening over there. But I need you all to do that for me, because I want you to stay connected with us as we continue to share with you each and every day. Let me say again, good morning to each and every one of you. That's one of the changes that we're making as well. I won't be having the Morning Mocha roll call, but I hope you weren't motivated just by the roll call and the opportunity of hearing your name called over live stream. I hope that wasn't your only motivation for joining us. But again, let me give a general greeting and a general good morning to everyone. For those of you that are viewing us for the very first time, welcome to Morning Mocha. You're a part of our Morning Mocha family. I will yet do whatever shout outs with regards to birthdays, anniversaries, promotions, educational achievements. So if you have those, if those are occurring in your life, we want you to yet submit those things, and my staff is going to help you out by putting up the link that you can go to in order to provide us with the information to register your birthdays, your anniversaries, and things of that nature. I do want to yet celebrate you because you are worth celebrating, because without you, there would be no Morning Mocha. I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. But I'm honored once again that you all have joined us. Let me encourage you to not only join us here on Morning Mocha, but yet I want to invite you to join us on Sunday mornings for our in-person worship experience. Those of you that are viewing right now, if you are in desire to be present in an in-person worship experience, if you've had enough of the live stream thing, I invite you to come join and share with us each and every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Canaan Worship Center, 5333 East Bannister Road, Kansas City, Missouri. That's located in South Kansas City, Missouri. Now, of course, if you're outside of the Kansas City metropolitan area, you can join us via live stream. All right. But we do want to invite you to join us each and every Sunday morning and on Tuesday nights for our TNT Bible study. I know both experiences are going to tremendously bless your life. Thank you so much, Sister Tisha, for putting up that link for us. And again, you guys can kind of watch your chat as things go through the chat, because my team is always providing information that will keep you connected. I believe someone is going to eventually throw up the link to Dr. Tony D. Cobbin's YouTube page for some of you that feel like, well, I don't know how to find it. They'll put it up for you in just a little bit. Well, today I want to ask you a question. What's your motivation? That's what I want to talk to you about today. What's your motivation? Here on Morning Mocha, I often talk about your desires, your dreams, your visions. I talk to you about staying focused, and I encourage you to keep things moving forward. You know, I share those things with you, and I challenge you and encourage you like that, because I certainly want to see you achieve all that you desire to achieve in life. That's what our coming together each and every morning is really all about. I'm just sharing words of wisdom and words of encouragement to just push you to the next level. You know, a lot of us don't really understand there's so much more in us that can be brought forth out of us that will help us to achieve the next level that we desire to achieve in life, to maximize our attention. Again, I know that at times what I'm encouraging you to do, when I'm pushing you and challenging you, I understand that sometimes it seems easier said than done. But I want you to know that what I'm sharing with you and encouraging you to do is certainly not an impossibility for you. I just know that. I know that by the end of some of our discussions, some of you may seem overwhelmed by some of the information that I share with you. Some of you may quickly conclude that, wow, it's just too much. And it may seem that way, you know, because I do share a lot of information with you, if I must say so myself. But one of the reasons why you feel that way is because you think that the fulfilling of your dreams and visions are a one-day event, and they are absolutely not. You think that I'm suggesting to you that everything that you desire and hope for will just fall together in the moment that you decide that you want something to happen. But that's not what I'm suggesting at all. And you know, if you've been listening carefully, you would have picked up on the message with regards to all of these things being a process, because that's what it is. It's all a process which involves stages and phases. Anytime you go after anything worth going after, It's going to involve stages and phases. It involves a process. And each stage and phase presents you with its own unique challenges. That's just a reality. We can't get around that. It's called life. It's called the pursuit of life. It's called the pursuit of your dreams and visions. And so, in the stages and the phases, again, there is process. And here's what the process has to look like. First of all, when it comes to determining or acknowledging or realizing your dreams and your visions, first thing you need to do is stop and think. Allow yourself to envision exactly what you desire. Stop and think. I've encouraged you on many occasions to just set aside time for just thinking. Turn off all your devices, or at least remove yourself from your devices. That being your phone, your television, whatever you listen to for music, entertainment, people around you. Get off by yourself and just sit and think. Listen, you'd be surprised how therapeutic just having the time to sit quietly and think. And let me say for the record, when you start training yourself to just sit and think, initially your mind is going to go everywhere. And that's okay. That's okay. When you're trying to develop that discipline of just sitting and thinking, when you first start doing it, your mind is going to go everywhere. And you're going to be tempted to say, you know what, this is not doing anything for me because I can't keep my mind tracked on any one given thing. But let me encourage you to sit and just think and intentionally try to envision yourself seeing exactly what it is you desire. Now, even now, if you have to make a list of what you want to think about on any given day, then if that helps you, do just that. But it is imperative that you be able to envision what it is you want to do. Because the reality is, if you have no vision, you'll get no prize. From a biblical perspective, the word of God says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Why? Because they become stagnant. They become immobile. When you have no vision, you become stagnant and immobile. You can't move forward. You never experience progress in your life. And when you find yourself at a constant standstill where you're not moving forward any at all, I guarantee you hang out in that spot too long, you're going to become very, very frustrated. Have a prize in mind. See that prize. Envision yourself obtaining that prize that you desire to obtain. So you got to take time to think. In the thinking process, as you're moving forward in your thinking, the next thing you need to do is plan. You got to develop a strategy. And let me encourage you to lay out your strategy on paper. Write it down. I can't tell you how many times I've regretted not writing down a thought, a plan, or a strategy when it comes to my mind. I don't care when it occurs. I would advise that you keep something on your nightstand near your bed or somewhere close to wherein if you wake up in the middle of the night and you receive inspiration, a thought, an ideal comes across your mind, that you find a way to record that thought or ideal in that moment. Again, I can't tell you the number of times that I wish I had just written something down, because when I fail to write it down, it becomes difficult, if not impossible, to remember what that awesome thought was. You may not have a pad or a pen available to you, but most all of us always have our phones at our fingertips. I mean, really, most of us can't go anywhere without our phones. I'm certainly guilty of it. I need my phone with me. Man, I've left my house and gotten 2 or 3 blocks away from my house and say, wow, I've left my phone at home. I will turn around and go get my phone because I got to remain connected. And because we're so attached to our phones, that's a good place to record some notes, maybe not all of them, but you ought to record some notes. But I still would advise you to write down your thoughts, your dreams, your aspirations, your plans on paper, because y'all know how these electronic devices can be at times. They'll crash on you in a minute and you'll lose everything that you've recorded in those devices. So I would encourage you to, again, write things down. While you're planning, you need to set goals within your goals, keeping in mind the fact that progress is always incremental. Set goals within your goals. Yes, you have a goal, but what are the goals within your goals? What do I mean by that? You need to set some benchmarks and deadlines for when you're going to accomplish or complete certain tasks. I think it's very important that you impose deadlines up on yourself. I've got to get this done by such and such day, or by such and such date, I will have accomplished X, Y, and Z. And you need to do it as though you're going to have to report to somebody very, very important, because you will have to. You have to report to yourself. That's one of the ways that you get over that demon of procrastination. When you set deadlines for yourself and you adhere to and honor your self-imposed deadlines, that's when you can find yourself constantly moving forward incrementally, one day at a time, one moment at a time, one step at a time. Set those benchmarks. I've got to achieve this in this, that, or the other amount of time. And don't be that person that keeps pushing the benchmark or the deadline further and further out. That's just another form of fancy procrastination. Set a hard and fast deadline and benchmark, and then do everything you can to achieve that benchmark at that appointed date that you set for yourself. So you got to think, you got to plan, and then the next thing you must do, you got to execute. And please understand that execution is an ongoing process. It never ends. Instead of just thinking in terms of execute as though it's a one-time event and then it's over, you got to think in terms of constantly executing, constantly doing what is necessary to bring your dreams and visions to pass, executing the plan. Here's another reason why it's so important to set benchmarks and deadlines, because when you set benchmarks and deadlines, you then have an opportunity to celebrate small victories and accomplishments. And that can be very encouraging. You can celebrate these small victories even by rewarding yourself with something, or celebrating with some people or a person that you love, that's aware of what you're desiring to do, and who's a person that's very supportive of your dreams and visions. Now, I realize you can't share your dreams and visions with everybody, or even now just anybody. They've got to be very, very special people. Thank you, Lady Ann, for echoing what I said. Think, plan, execute your dreams. And again, view your dreams and visions in stages or increments if necessary. And when you reach or hit those stages, those benchmarks, those deadlines, celebrate. It's okay to commend yourself. Another thing you got to discipline yourself to do is quickly dismiss any setbacks. Don't dwell on them. Don't brood over them. Don't let them occupy your mind, causing you to become stuck or paralyzed because you're focusing too much on what you believe to be a failure. I think I've shared this with you before, but I think it bears repeating again. Your setbacks are not failures. They are simply lessons learned. That's the way you got to you must view your setbacks. View them not as failures, but as lessons learned. The way that becomes beneficial to you is because when you've had a setback, the first thing you want to identify is why you had that setback. What created that setback? Here's the lesson you learned from that setback. I know what I did or what happened to cause that setback. So now I've learned not to repeat what I did in the past. So I'll never experience that setback ever again. I won't do that again. I'm not going through that anymore. That's not going to happen. I'm too wise, I'm too mature to let that happen. But it's all a matter of perspective. You got to have the right perspective on some of your experiences while you constantly move forward toward achieving your hopes, your dreams, and your desires. Now, as wonderful as all this may sound, it all means nothing if you have no motivation. People, my brothers, my sisters, understand it is your motivation that fuels your success. I mean, think about that. If you're not motivated, you have no fuel, you have no fire. You have no fuel nor fire, it is very likely you're not going to experience success. And what do we all want to experience in life? We want to experience success. Even if you decide that you want to be a pitiful, good-for-nothing person, you got to be motivated by a good-for-nothing attitude and spirit. That's what's got to fuel you. That's your motivation. You are motivated to do absolutely nothing. And some people do nothing quite well. Some people are very skilled at being trifling. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. But you got to be motivated. If you desire to do anything of significance, if you set goals, if you have dreams and visions, you got to be motivated to pursue those dreams and visions. You got to be motivated to do whatever you need to do to achieve those dreams and visions. in life coaching, in that industry, many coaches are known to ask their client, what is their why? What does that mean? They're simply asking, what drives the client? What motivates the client? What makes the client get out of bed and start their day? What makes them eager to do so? What is it that the person believes is their why in life? What do they believe they were born to do? What is it that they live to do? Wherein lies their passion? I know those are a whole lot of questions, but I'm just trying to get to the root of things. And sometimes you have to ask the same question a number of ways for it to resonate with certain people. And so even now, I want you to just consider for a minute, what is your why? Have you defined your why? Have you identified your why? What fuels your fire? What is it that makes you not just roll out of bed, but almost jump out of bed in the mornings? Now, I know some of you would say that you're too old to be jumping. Now, and I'll agree with that. But you know what I'm saying. What makes you excited about getting your day started? Now, I know the reality is that most of you would say, well, sometimes it's kind of tough getting going in the morning. Sometimes I'm dragging early in the morning. But you know what? As that day gets to rolling, as it gets to going, you become more and more energized. I know that there are people who will tell you that they love their jobs. They love their career. They love what they do. They love their life. They love the life that they're living. Why? Because they are doing the things that brings fulfillment to them. And that's what's fueling their passion. That's what gives them that fire that seems to never burn out. They're motivated by their why. Some of them will tell you, some of you can tell me, I know what God put me on this earth to do. I know it because of how he gifted me. I know it because of how I'm inspired on a daily basis. Now, the reality is there are a lot of people who are motivated only by money. Okay? Now, while that may be a motivator for you, I would suggest that it not be the motivator for you. Don't turn me off. I'm not suggesting that money is not important. Making money is not important. Earning money is not important, because it is. But know this: money is not a guarantee of experience fulfillment in life. It doesn't guarantee fulfillment. Let's put money in its proper perspective. Money is a resource that provides for certain physical needs. The truth is, although some people are deceived and think that it might be the case, but the truth is, money does not satisfy the need for mental, emotional, and spiritual fulfillment in life. There are a great number of people who possess boatloads of money, but they have no sense of fulfillment. That's the truth. Some of you probably have been known to say things like, well, if I had this amount of money, I definitely would be happy. You don't know that. Because sometimes with more money comes more problems. It's a reality. With more problems comes more frustration. Sometimes with more money comes more anxiety. And you know, really, if you are not really educated with how to handle your money, money has been known to destroy certain lives. It's been said that the more money you have, the more of who you really are becomes exposed. Money simply makes you a bigger person than that of what most people realize, or more of that which people perceive you to be in the first place. I think that's a better way of saying it. Sometimes if you're a jerk, when you get more money, you become a bigger jerk. If you're a drunkard, you get more money, you're just going to stay drunk a lot more. Money provides a drug addict with access to more drugs. A person who wastes money when they have little money is just going to have more money to waste. And they're going to look around and it's going to be all gone before they know it. And they may well wind up in a worse place than they were when they had no money. You know, now that's not to contradict what the Bible says when the Bible said money answers all things. It answers all things simply because if it's used wisely, it can be a resource to resolve certain issues. I mean, that's a reality. When the scriptures tells us that money answers all things, that's predicated on the fact that the one who's handling the money is handling the money with wisdom. Yeah, you can go through life a lot smoother when you have resources available to us. But I need to make you aware of this reality. Money can be a material resource that ultimately runs out or can be taken away. Think about that. It only takes one crisis in your life, and your piles of money can become instantly depleted. One crisis. One such case that comes to mind is the stock market crash of 1929. That stock market crash caused a great number of wealthy people to lose all their assets in one day. And because of it, some of those wealthy people committed suicide. It was reported that some of them were literally jumping out of windows of tall skyscraper buildings. Why? Because they lost all of their fortunes in one day. We often say here today, gone tomorrow. No, here today, gone today. It just takes one crisis. That's the kind of situation we have no control over. The stock market crashing or the economy taking such a bad turn that we start to lose whatever funds or monies we have available to us. It happens. But think about this. While money can run out at any time, and it may not ever be totally recovered, get this, passion, your passion, can constantly be replenished. And that's something you have control of. That's the reason why it is important for your passion to be married to your why. You need not only know your why, but you need to be compassionate about your why. That passion, you got to be very passionate about it. That passion is what fuels your fire for daily living. Your why is the foundation for your present and your future hopes. Think about it. That's what you should be motivated by. Your why contains what I would call submotivations. What are these submotivations? Need for fulfillment of purpose in life. That's a submotivation. Desire to provide for your family. That's a submotivation. A philanthropic mission. That's a submotivation. That's a mission wherein you have this urge and desire to do for people who are less fortunate than yourself. And you do it on a large scale. That's a submotivation. Doing that which brings you joy. That's a submotivation. But you put all of these submotivations together, you ball it all up into your primary motivation. And that's what fuels your why. That's the passion that causes you to pursue your why. Listen, in my estimation, I want y'all to catch this because it's so important. In my estimation, the weakest why that a person can ever possess is the motivation that is fueled by the need to impress people. That's a weak why. You might get what you want, but can it sustain your ultimate need? And impressing people is only temporary. There will ultimately come a time when people are just not impressed. And that's the reason why it ought to be about your why in life and doing the things that you believe to be productive in life, and not about trying to impress somebody else. It's been said that we often go out of our way to try to impress people who don't even like us. And they really don't care. I tell you, one of the most liberating experiences that I've had in my life is when I became freed from people. You all have heard me talk about that before. That's a great liberating feeling. When you break free of people trying to impress people or trying to show people. They think I'm this, that, and the other. I'm going to show them that they have labeled me as a nothing and a nobody. I'm going to show them. No, show yourself, because that's you're the only person who really matters in this situation. Because even when you show your haters that you're better than who they say or what they say you are, or who they say you are you to be, who they describe you as. Even when you show them, they're just going to find something else to criticize you about. So why waste your time? As a matter of fact, you ought to decide in your mind, I'm so unimpressed with their lives, I'm not even going to waste my time focusing on them or what they think, because they really don't matter. Sometimes you just got to learn how to dismiss people. And so don't waste your time or your energy using your passion of your why to try to impress people who don't even care. Besides that, impressing people does not ensure peace. I'll show them something. I'll show them what I'm made of. No, prove to yourself what you're made of. Does that make sense? So again, I ask you the question. What is your why? What is your motivation? I want you to really just think about that. I want to encourage you to think about that throughout your day. And every time you get a thought, regardless as to how many thoughts you may get over the course of this day, as it pertains to your why, jot it down. This is an element of my why. This is who I am. Jot it down. Record it in your phone. You know, our phones are so fancy now that we can just dictate something in our phone. Now, if you don't have a good phone with voice recognition, you might get all kind of crazy messages. But if your phone has decent voice recognition, you can just dictate into your phone the notes you want to record. It's as easy as that. But then go back and review those notes. Visit those notes on a regular basis. Ask yourself the question, what stage am I in life? Where am I in terms of my pursuit of my dreams and my visions? What am I accomplishing, or at least on my way to accomplishing? What's fueling my fire? Listen, you got to have a fire that's being fueled constantly. Otherwise, you're just going to fizzle out. Ask yourself these questions. Have this conversation with yourself. Jot down your thoughts. Listen, this is just all the blueprint for success. If you're not willing to do anything, you must not be seeking to accomplish anything. That's just the reality. But if you're serious about making certain accomplishments, if you're serious about wanting to achieve certain things in and for your life, then you've got to have a motivation. You got to have a plan. You need to lay out your plan. You got to execute your plan. You got to revisit your plan, understanding that your plan is a process. It's incremental. You have incremental achievements which are worthy of celebration, and you should celebrate every stage, every step, every accomplishment, because that within itself will keep you motivated to keep moving forward. The last thing I want to tell you this morning as I get ready to close this session out, and that is, if you never give up on your why, your dreams and your visions will always be within your reach. Nothing to be impossible. You know, Jesse Jackson, when he started the Rainbow Coalition, one of the things you could always hear him say, one of his mantras was, if you can believe it, then you can receive it and you can achieve it. And there's a lot of truth in that. Belief in and of itself is a motivation for you to remain consistent in the pursuit of your dreams and visions. Well, that's all I have for today. It's a wrap. And with that, I'm putting a wrap on this week. It's been a wonderful Morning Mocha week here this week. If you didn't catch every one of the discussions, I just encourage you to go back and review them. They are available on demand. You can view them at any time at your leisure. I would encourage you to do so. All right? Just only here to try to build you up, not to tear you down. To encourage you, not to discourage you. Because one of these days, I'm going to hear about you accomplishing your greatest hope and your greatest dream. I'm waiting for those testimonies because I know they're going to happen. Because you're the person to make it happen. Again, before we sign off today, I want to encourage you all. Some of you came on a little later after I made these appeals, and I'm going to keep making these appeals. Go over to my YouTube page, my personal YouTube page, Dr. Tony D. Cobbins, my YouTube channel, rather. Go over to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, because we will soon, very soon, be shifting Morning Mocha entirely to my personal YouTube channel. All right? If you haven't already done so, do it the moment that I sign off. Now, my phone notifies me when people subscribe to my channel. I want to see my notifications go popping off the chain. Come on, do your part. Jump on in there. Get over there, subscribe, and turn on the notifications, and let my phone start jumping like a hotcake, informing me or notifying me that you have subscribed to that channel. All right? If I don't see you, I'm going to wonder why. Y'all going to have me feeling some kind of way. Thank you, Jackie Burns. She said it's already done. I know many of you have already done it, and I appreciate you. And so now when you encourage other people to subscribe to a channel, encourage them to subscribe to my channel. All right? God bless y'all. Grace and peace and love to each and every one of you. Have a blessed, wonderful, and even prosperous rest of your weekend. God bless.